Caleb had 3 touchdowns, caught one too. Here's his record this season. This might be a little dirty pool if Danny was out here.
Well, you can't take out two of the games now.
Well, how about
actually,
2 of the games against terrible defenses?
Okay, well,
He cooks them up, and then the rest he doesn't. So that's what I'm asking. Did this game change your view on Caleb, or it was like, hey, you're the Bengals. If Joe Burrow played his own team in the scrimmage.
And we should also include, after the Bears blew this, and then Caleb made a huge play at the end.
Yes.
Like, if people didn't watch, it was an amazing final drive for Caleb.
It changes nothing for me.
Nothing.
Now, look, Caleb is on the right track. I don't know where that track will end, but I think he certainly is on track to being like a good, solid quarterback.
Oof.
The question is, can he be he's expected to be a great, transcendent quarterback. I'll just stick to great. I'm kind of come off transcendent. But I saw nothing yesterday to move me in terms of, he's going to be a superstar. I saw nothing because he was great, but it was against the freaking Bengals.
But if he wasn't great, wouldn't it have moved you negatively?
Yeah, it would have been a problem.
Yeah. So
but I mean, he did this same thing against Dallas and then had, 4 straight bad games? Like, you saw it. 7 touchdowns, no picks against the 2 worst defenses in the league, 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions in the remaining, 5, 6 games.
But, Brew, isn't one of the knocks on Caleb too high and too low, a little emotional within the game? To me, that last drive spoke a lot.
It did.
Because that would have been a worse loss than the Hail Mary loss, to blow a 14-point lead with 2 minutes left to that team, and for him to rally them and they score a touchdown. I thought it was a huge moment.
It was nice, but does it convince you he's going to be a superstar?
No, but
I thought he was going to be good.
But
he showed me enough to think he's going to be good.
It moves it in the right direction. It's a positive step.
It was a good game, but I mean, I want to see it. He's done it twice. I thought Dallas, he's cooking. All right, here we go. And then he has a bunch of 70 passes.
I do want to see more. However, I'm more with Nick on this one because I do think for Caleb's psyche, forget how we view him. For his own psyche, you need to remind yourself that I can do this. That even when my team needs me the most and they need a drive, they need heroics, if you will, I can still come through. Now, the game was in hand, and then for some odd reason, they found themselves on the outside looking in, and he found a way to make enough plays, and he did it. And when you're on a team that is kind of teetering on the brink, and you look within your division and then in your conference, and you see, like, man, we don't have a margin of error to lose a game like this, find a way to win it. When just last year, every game like this, they found a way to lose it.
And unlike the Cowboys game, where it's just a rout, they needed every single one of those 47
They did.
points.
Yeah, it wasn't even about that. It's that the play was actually harder against the Bengals. It was pretty much wide open receivers all day against the Dallas Cowboys. And that's why I said I wasn't moved by that game. I don't care what the numbers said. And Caleb missed a lot of throws in that game. And Tom Brady was counting them. They were up to like 7 or 8 missed throws. And so even though he put up huge numbers and had the success that he did, I was like, that the game doesn't really matter that much to me. And like, I defended that take by also saying, I expect Caleb Williams to be able to hit those types of throws because I don't think Caleb Williams is a bust. I don't think Caleb Williams is this bad quarterback. So like, I'm not going to be impressed by those moments because I expect him to be able to do that. It comes from a source of belief. And in this game as well, I expect Caleb to be great against bad defenses. And so I do want to see plenty more. But there's a huge but there. He was still making great plays. The game itself called upon him many times, and he succeeded whether it was against bad defenses or not. And he was making great throws on the run with great scrambles, whether it be against bad defenses or not. Now, if Caleb was in year 3, 4, or 5, yeah, I would care a lot less. Patrick Mahomes has had this type of game, or Josh Allen, or Jalen Hurts, or whatnot. And the season was going well and they were having success. I'm like, oh, yeah, I expect you to be able to do that. But when you're a young quarterback, what I see you as in year 1, or unless like you are a Mahomes or Jalen and your team is really struggling and you guys are kind of teetering and like you need a huge game, you know, then I'll be like, okay, that's a big victory. But under more neutral circumstances, I'm like, yeah, that's my floor. I expect you to be able to do that, because if you can't, well, then you're not a great quarterback. So we don't have to downplay this game. We can find the real big positives in it, but this is also not, you know, to me, like an example of like, see, he's the superstar that we all know and love. It's not that either. But it's still an incredibly net positive and a great game. And like I said on my previous take with the Bears with the herd, I was just like saying that regardless, you know, this team is moving in the right direction. Even if you want to play Bru's game and saying that like he, you know, that he hasn't taken any steps forward. And that's Bru's opinion. At the very minimum, you'd have to admit that he's facing the right direction. At the very minimum, you have to admit that, like, okay, maybe you're trying to figure out, it's like when you use like Google Maps or something, and it's like, if you're in the city especially, and like the signal is bouncing off and you like don't know where you are, you're like, which way am I going? Like, I don't know. It doesn't know where I am. And then once you figure out like, okay, I'm in the right direction now, when I walk forward, at least I know I'm going up that blue line. Like I know we're going in the right direction at a minimum. At the absolute bare minimum, you have to admit that. You have to concede that with the Chicago Bears, Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. You have to. If you don't, then I don't know what you're seeing, honestly. So, you know, this game doesn't fundamentally change how I view Caleb, because my expectations and belief in Caleb wasn't that very low. And so to me, the way how this game only changes the way how you view Caleb is if you were already kind of the camp where you're like, Caleb's not that good. Caleb's going to be benched. Caleb is going to be moved on. He's going to be let go. You know, whatever it is. That has not been how I view Caleb. So, and yeah, listen, the Bengals are a terrible defense. No question about it. And, you know, the way how you really prove to be a special quarterback in this NFL is by being great against great defenses, against great teams. It's not about, you know, we talk about this a lot, like, oh, you know, a great quarterback carries a team, and that you're either the bus driver or the, you know, whatever it is, whatever Charles Barkley always tries to invent. And the reality is actually, I don't even know if I necessarily see it that way. I mean, I know I don't see it that way. Because I always talk about, like, if you're going to win a Super Bowl, no quarterback is just carrying a bad team to win the Super Bowl. It just never happens. You need to have a great team. You need to have a great team to be able to win Super Bowls. That's just the way it goes. And the reality is, though, is like what really makes a great quarterback, truly a great quarterback, is not his ability to put the team on his back and just carry them week after week after week. One, you have to be able to do that occasionally, no question about it. And maybe it isn't a playoff game. Maybe it's for a full playoff game. Maybe it's just for a drive. Maybe it's for a quarter. You know, it'll change. But really, the foundation is, can you be great? Can you be special against a great team, against a great defense, against a great pass rush, against great corners? It's against a great defensive coach. Like, that's what puts you in that category. You can say, oh, Jalen Hurts doesn't carry the Eagles. And it's like, fine, but he plays great against other great defenses. It's not like he puts up amazing numbers against bad defenses only to crumble against great defenses. It's not what happens. It's not. And so, you know, you can that's what you want. What Caleb is in the process of starting to develop and starting to prove. When he starts doing that, then you can start to really build momentum. Then you can start to really begin to feel a lot more confident about the direction Caleb and the Chicago Bears are moving in. And he hasn't fully proven that quite yet, which is fine because it's year one with Ben Johnson. But to me, that is what I'm looking for more than anything. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears? Has this game changed the way you view Caleb at all? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.